Hi folks, Miranda here, and today we are outside again enjoying some beautiful summer weather. We are going to be going through a practice that is designed to help improve your posture, which means strengthening your spine, strengthening your core, opening it up, and just helping you sit up taller, which will help you throughout your whole life. If this is your first time practicing with me, please check the description below this video and find a link for a separate video called Tips for a Safe Yoga Practice and watch that first. You're not going to need any props really, except for it's always important to have that bottle of water nearby, just in case you do want to take a break and you need it. And we're going to be starting seated with the lovely Jared at my side here, relaxing over there, making me feel like I just want to take a nap. But we're going to be starting with seated here, and we're going to move into some cat-cows. So you can either just be a simple cross-legged, or if you want to move to a butterfly pose, whichever one you prefer. This is kind of a level one, improving your posture sequence, so it's nothing too intense. So starting here with a neutral spine, sitting up nice and tall, having those sit bones connected to the earth. You're going to move through those spinal undulations, the cat-cow. So inhale, draw the heart forward, looking up at the sky. And exhale, curve the spine, drop the chin towards the chest. Moving with your breath, on the in-breath, looking forward and up. And on the out-breath, drawing that chin down, looking down at the ground. It's just a nice, easy way to start to warm up the back, preparing you for the strengthening movements we'll be going through. Last one, inhale, shine that heart. Exhale, round the spine. Coming to neutral here, and we're going to be moving to a side bend with a twist. So making it nice and gentle today, let's just do the cross-legged here for this. And begin with the right hand. I'll be your mirror here. So right hand comes away from the right hip. You're going to swoop that left arm up and over, bending into that right elbow. It doesn't matter how deep you are. The important thing is that you keep the sit bone on the left side connected to the earth. You're not popping up here. You're making that stretch focus on where it should be, on the sides. Looking up at the sky if you like to engage your neck a little bit. Or maybe looking down at the ground. Finding a good little twist here on the neck. And then inhale, push up, drop that left hand to the top of the right leg, moving into a twist. So the right hand comes behind the back, one palm length away from the body. And you can think about on every inhale, try to sit up a bit taller, and then on the exhale, twist deeper. So this is a kind of a static pose, but there are little mini movements you can do with the coordinating with your breath, of course, help you get a little deeper in a twist. Good. Inhale, swoop both arms all the way up to the sky, looking up for a moment. And now moving to the opposite side here, dropping that left hand away from the left hip, and then bending into that left elbow. Hi, Jared. I'm going to swoop the right arm up and over. Again, finding where you want to look. If it feels really good looking up at the sky, just make sure you keep that right sit bone connected to the earth. Maybe looking down. One more breath here. And then pushing yourself up, going into the spinal twist now. So right hand across the body to the top of the left quadricep, and then draw that left hand behind you, one palm length away from your lower back. Sitting up nice and tall, breathing in, and exhale, looking over that left shoulder. Think about twisting like a towel here, really, really wringing it out. Gorgeous, guys. On your next inhale, draw those arms back up to the sky. And exhale, hands come down to the heart. Next, we're going to be moving onto our stomachs, which means I'm going to have to be moving my awesome dog companion also. I can have my mat. So go ahead and move to your belly. You can relax one cheek to the side of the mat, arms at the side, and I will see you there. All right, my friends, so we're meeting on our stomachs, prone position, now that I have reclaimed my mat from my friend Jared down there. So we're gonna be moving to plank pose, but this is level 1 of this posture improvement sequence I'm making. So I encourage you to stay on your forearms here. If you really do wanna make it more intense, you can be on your hands. It's your choice, but this is level 1 here. So let's try to keep it nice and easy. Come down so that the elbows are stacked under the shoulders. The arms are kind of pointed, the forearms are pointed forward towards the top of the mat, and your hands are down. You're gonna tuck your toes under, and we're gonna be moving to a plank. So the wonderful thing about plank is it works the whole body, but it really is focused on your core, keeping that stomach pulled in, drawing the navel in towards the spine, all these great things that are really gonna improve this part of your body. So pushing into the balls of the feet when you are ready, lifting up the hips, and holding here. Now the wonderful thing about plank, it is a static pose, but it's a very active one. You're strengthening everything, you're really pulling it all in, and you can kind of play with this. If you need to lower your hips and take a moment, of course you can. But you want to think about one long line from the crown of your head to the heels of your feet, looking down at the space between the forearms. Inhale. And slowly release. Nice. We're going to move onto our sides to do forearm side plank. So I want you to roll over to one side. Again, your elbows stay stacked underneath the shoulder. Your hands, your palm of your hands is planted down. The leg that's on top, you're going to stagger the feet. So that leg that's on top, that foot will be in front. The bottom leg's foot is in the back. And here, this is really great for your obliques especially. So you're gonna lift your hips up, and you can simply make it a static move again, just with your hips lifted, or you can kind of do pulses. I'll show you some little variety you can kind of play with this. So bringing your fingertips in front just to steady yourself. On your next exhale, lift up those hips. Again, this isn't a big movement, you're not shooting yourself up too far, but you're tightening everything, especially the obliques. So you can keep your fingertips down if you need that, or if you want, you can lift that arm up, looking up at the sky towards that hand, maybe doing a little bit of pulses here with the arm overhead. The important thing here is this. So whatever you're doing with the arms and the shoulders, that's kind of your choice. You can even do little dips, little pulses down. Taking a few more breaths, holding those hips up, and then release. I'm going to be moving my body so that you can do that same 2 planks, but towards the other side. So moving back to your stomach for forearm plank. Remember the shoulders come underneath, the elbows come underneath the shoulders. You can do that Sphinx pose with the hands pressed down. Or if it feels really good for you, you can always clasp the hands, your choice here. Tucking the toes under, and on your next exhale, lift those hips up to forearm plank. Squeezing here. Again, imagining like a plank of wood in your body. If you let your hips go too low, you're putting strain on your lower back. If you let your hips go too high, you're putting all of the work into those shoulders. So really try to find that middle ground. Breathe in and slowly release. All right, so forearm side plank now, turning to the other side. Again, plant the elbow under the shoulder, palm flat to the mat. Stagger the feet, and then just to begin, bring those fingertips down in front of you. We're going to move into our side plank. So exhale when you come up. Options to stay here, maybe float that arm up, looking up at the sky. Maybe doing a little overhead movement. What feels good for you, as long as you've got those hips off the ground. Maybe little pulses. Just a few more breaths here, guys. Breathe in and release. Very nice. So just to take a moment here, drop one cheek towards the mat. Arms come at the side of the body. Close the eyes for a moment and release. Very good. To come out, go ahead and put the hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up, and we're going to be moving on first just to a seated position, moving towards our back here. So again, this is your level 1. So we're going to be doing crunches, but we're only doing like half crunches, little baby crunches, which means I want you to keep your lower back connected to the earth. All right, so feet are hip width distance apart. Lower yourself here. And then you want to make sure that the most important thing here is your lower back, that it stays connected so there's no chance, no strain on the lumbar part of your spine. So you can just have your hands relaxing on the top of the legs. And on your exhale, you're going to start to do little crunches. So just coming up and then inhale down. We're going to be doing 12 of these, so going at your own speed here. Exhale when you're coming up. Inhale when you release. I know it's kind of tempting when you do repetitions like this to sort of go really, really fast and get them through, get them over with. But the important thing here is actually the slower you go, the better it is for your body. So even if you have the time and you'd like to, you can just pause at the top before you release down. If you ever do these on your own, not following with me in the video, it's actually better the slower that you go. Making sure when you're at the top that you've fully exhaled, and at the bottom take your deep inhale. Last one, exhale, squeeze, 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 and release. Very nice. Next we're going to be more into the focusing on the lower part of our abdominal muscles, so release the legs down. And you have an option here. You can either do bicycle legs or butterfly kicks. I'll show you both. So our bicycle legs, arms are by your side. You're bending the knees, bringing the shins parallel to the ground. And you just kind of think about pedaling your feet. And again, making sure that you're keeping that lower back glued to the ground. You're not popping up, arching your back here. So there's your little bicycle movement there. Butterfly kicks. You're going to straighten the legs. Again, hands are by your side. And you simply lift up the legs and do small little flutters like a butterfly wing. So whichever one feels good for you guys, if you prefer one to the other, we're just going to do about 15 more seconds. So you choose. You can always mix it up if you like. Remember not to hold your breath at any point. And don't be moving too fast. Controlled movements. A few more moments here. Inhale and release. Very nice. Now we're going to be moving back to our upper abdominals, but also with a little bit of twist to go into the transverse abdominal muscles. So feet come to the mat. And think about doing like a figure 4 cross here. So you're going to pick up one foot. The outside of the ankle comes to the top of the quadricep on the other leg. That knee opens wide and you keep this foot very flexed. Now whatever knee is up, you're going to think about the opposite shoulder coming towards, the opposite elbow, coming towards it. So whichever knee is up, that same arm is just going to come to like your stomach to sort of hold you here. Draw the other hand underneath the head and going into figure 4 twist crunches, okay? Nothing too intense. Keep the lower back as close to the mat as you can. So on your exhale, draw yourself up, twist yourself towards that opposite knee. Inhale down. Moving through 12. So again, moving with the breath. Not going too fast, not just trying to run through these, but being very mindful of that lower back. This is more the engagement of the twist here. Of course, if you're feeling like this is too easy for you, you can always lift a little bit on that foot. Last one. And gently release. Just go into a butterfly pose, a supine Vadakanasana. Bottoms of the feet come together. Open the knees up for just a moment. Using the hands here to help open the legs a bit more. And now closing the book and switching sides. So opposite knee comes up, open into that figure 4 pose, foot is flexed, and then the same hand comes to your abdominal to kind of help keep you grounded. Draw the other hand behind the head, taking a moment here, and then beginning, twisting your elbow towards that opposite knee. It's okay, of course, to let the knee come up some because we're keeping the lower back very connected, but you really want to make sure you're putting most of the work into the upper body. Halfway there, that's 6. Exhaling when you come up and inhale when you release. Just a few more here, guys. We're almost there on this. And one more. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Very nice. Back to Supine Vadakanasana. Releasing the legs, opening the knees, relaxing here for a moment. And now we're going to be rolling back to our bellies. So pointing those legs, and just roll over like a little kid rolling around on the ground. We're going to go to a Cobra now. You have the option to make this a twisted Cobra, so I'll show you both. But just to begin, let's do a regular Cobra. So hands come under the shoulders. Legs are zipper tight as much as you can together with your toes pointed back. And on an exhale, push into the hands. This is going to be a low Cobra, so just think about trying to keep the hips connected. Elbows are kept close to the sides of the body, so you're right alongside your ribs here. And looking forward, hips are still connected, squeezing the lower back. This is regular Cobra. So when you want to come out, release, exhale, one cheek comes down to the mat. We're going to move to another Cobra. You can stay in the regular Cobra if you want to do a twist with me. You're going to inhale and then exhale, push up and twist over to one side just so you're looking over one shoulder towards your feet. Still getting the benefits of the lower back, but obviously you're also doing a mild spinal twist. Brings a little extra element into your practice. So breathe in and then release back down to the mat. Maybe the opposite cheek comes down. And last one, again, you can just do regular Cobra, or if you want to do that twist with me, exhale, push up, and then going into twist, if you like. The important thing here is that you're working into that lower back. So squeezing it here, keeping those elbows close to the ribs. Breathe in and release. Again, cheek comes down to the mat. Relax those arms for a moment at the side. Okay, guys. So we're getting close to the end, I promise. We're going to do just a little bit more work for the lower back here. So we're going to do leg lifts or butterfly kicks will be your option, your variation if you like. So the best way to do these is to keep the chin grounded so that your spine can stay long, or the forehead connected to the mat, whatever's more comfortable with you with your neck, okay? But you don't want to have your head twisted here. You do want to have a long spine. So dropping that chin or the forehead down to the mat, whichever you prefer, you're going to think about, on an exhale, lifting up those legs. And this is just your simple leg lift. I know it's hard to talk to you while I have my head down. So you can just do a simple leg lift like this. Or if you want to make it more dynamic movement, you can lift up the legs and then start to do small kicks. Just like butterfly kicks we did on our backs. Whichever you prefer. Few more moments here. And then release. We're going to do 3 sets of these, but give yourself a moment here, relax. And your palms can be facing up or down, whichever is more makes you feel more grounded. You can kind of play with this here, see what you like. Exhale, lift up. And then start to kick if that's what you'd like to do. And release. And final set here, guys. Forehead or chin is grounded. Arms are long. Lift up. And then start to kick. And release. Go ahead and come back to a child's pose. Letting that back all go. Keep the knees wide. Toes touch. Big toes touch. And relax down. On that next inhale, start to walk the hands back towards the body. And we're moving into our final pose today, which is going to be Dandasana, staff pose, moving to Uttanasana, forward fold. Now this is a forward fold, but the great thing is that you can actually bring a little bit of a micro back bend into it. I'll talk you through that. But you want to keep the feet flexed to start. Sit bones are connected to the mat. Sitting up nice and tall. Pulling in the navel. This right here is actually, if you're doing it properly, can be very challenging for some people, just sitting up straight here. So you really are using your core muscles. And this is kind of a test for yourself to see how your posture is. If you find this very difficult, if you feel like you need your hands to help keep you sitting up, that kind of gives you a sign that you do need to work on your posture, okay? Sitting up nice and tall to begin. And then we're going to go into that forward fold, okay? So this is where I want you to think about the micro back bend. I want you to think about your tailbone and your pubic bone, your pubis. And you want to think about lengthening the space between the tailbone and the pubis. So going into a bit of a back bend with that kind of motion. And then the upper body will be doing that forward fold, all right? So inhale here. Tailbone and pubic bone are pulled away from each other. And then exhale, begin to fold yourself forward. Going wherever you can to really hold here. This is our last pose of today, so you're really going to stay in it for quite a few breaths. All right, so finding that maximum, that spot right beyond your comfort zone. And when you find that maximum, you're going to relax the head, close the eyes, and give yourself some good deep breaths here. Lengthening it all out, making space to kind of open up, letting all the work that we did today really integrate into your body. And then release the hands. You're going to roll yourself up very slowly, thinking about stacking one vertebra of your spine on top of the other. And at the top, shrug those shoulders up, and exhale, squeeze them back. 2 more shoulder rolls. Inhale, forward and back. 1 more, forward and back. Releasing the legs. And that is all for today, guys. If you do still want to do any more practice, you can always just go to child's pose, do a little side child's pose, whatever you have time for today. And I will be doing more videos that will be more intense on this posture improvement series, but this is your base level. So if this was challenging for you, I encourage you to repeat this sequence, doing your own little variations, but stay at this level until you feel like, yeah, I got this, I'm ready to move on, okay? Remember, it is yoga, it is physical exercise, but it's more than that. Yoga is meant to incorporate your mind, your mental state, your emotions, everything, your spirit into it. So you want to respect your body, respect your limitations, and know that with steady work, you will have progress in a safe and beautiful, and most importantly, compassionate manner. Okay? So that's my little speech for you. Don't push yourself too hard, respect yourself, and have a wonderful day, right? So if you enjoyed this time with me, please hit that like button, leave any feedback you like. You can always message me through the Facebook May Yoga page if you have any questions, and I will look forward to seeing you again on the mat very soon. Namaste.